What's cracking, guys? Bruce Matson here, and I got more rookie draft content for you today. I want to continue talking about these running backs, these mid-rounders, these late rounders that we can catch at discounts in our rookie drafts who are on the board in the third and fourth round, late second round, that we can snag, that we can throw on our rosters as a flyer to see what happens. Running backs can gain value just like that, just through running back attrition, the lead dog going down with the injury. Next thing you know, that rookie has to step up to the plate, and we get to see what they can do. Can they exceed expectations? Can they make big things happen? The spotlight's on them. We got to see. And we got to look at these running backs one by one to see if they got the opportunity to do that. Do they have the goods to make it happen? And what is good about them? What's bad about them? And what's going on? And how should we be approaching this in rookie drafts? Mainly, we should be in the latter parts of our draft with the turret gun set up and just going just spraying and praying on these running backs with the hopes that we hit on one of them. Volume gives us more upside. The volume gives us more chances of landing that lucky running back. All these running backs in this class from the middle to late rounds have something in their game that could help us out if they get the opportunity. All it is them getting the opportunity. One, they got to play well. Two, they got to have a pathway to touches. There's usually a starter there, especially when you're a fourth rounder, fifth rounder, sixth rounder. There's usually a starter in front of you. So you have to overcome those odds. You have to overcome those odds to get some workload. Maybe you end up being the RB2 on the offense. Maybe you end up being the RB3 but gets good workload still. Maybe you get to be the lead dog for 6 weeks because of an injury, because of something else. Who knows? But all these running backs have something in their game to make them valuable in Dynasty Fantasy Football. And the one running back I'm going to be talking about today is Kenyan Ingram, running back for the Arizona Cardinals. They drafted them in the 6th round this season. What I like about him is he's a bigger running back, 221-pounder with a 79th percentile size adjusted speed score. He ran a 4.54 40-yard dash, over 220 pounds. Good speed for his frame. On tape, he runs laterally very well. Decent vision. Can make things happen. He averaged 3.71 yards after contact per attempt last year. You see it on tape. You see him busting through tackles. You see him being elusive. And this is a bigger running back. The main thing I like about him is his ability to catch passes out of the backfield. 2018, he caught 27 balls. In 2019, he caught 29. 2020 was a little less because they only caught 11. But Bijan Robinson was there at Texas. Then he went out to USC for his final season in 2021, caught 22 passes. So he has proven he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He also averages 10 yards after the catch per reception. That is very good. That means when he's getting the ball in space, in the flat, or he's running a route, that means he can get the yards after the catch, and he's being efficient with the ball in his hands, which is a good thing to see, because if you're getting those chunk yards, quarterback's going to target you a little bit more because you're adding value to that pass attempt. Caught 91% of the passes thrown his way and had a 7% target share last year, which is pretty decent for a running back, especially a 220-pounder. The NFL draft didn't go his way. Every team in the league passed on him multiple times until the 6th round. Honestly, going into the draft, I was wondering if he was even going to be drafted. I was wondering what was going to happen with him. I figured 5th round, 6th round, 7th round was probably in the books, but I wasn't for sure. I am okay with 6th round draft capital considering what we've seen in his profile, because there is some ambiguity here. It wasn't like he was the most productive running back to ever come out of college. There are some holes in his game a little bit, but he went to a destination where we look at the depth chart and we see how he can get his opportunity. We see there's a pathway to potential. And then Arizona, you got James Conner as the lead back there. It is his opportunity to be the lead dog in a high-powered, high-volume offense. Eno Benjamin's there, and then it's Kenyan Ingram, and then a bunch of jabronis. What happens to this run game if something happens to James Conner? What happens here? Who is going to step up? Is it Eno Benjamin? We've seen this unfold before. Could it happen with Eno Benjamin? Probably not. His ancillary role might increase a little bit. I'm looking at Kenyan Ingram here. He's got the size adjusted athleticism, catch the ball at backfield, size to be a feature back, and this could be a spot where he gives us some fantasy production. Is it likely? No, he's a 6th rounder. 6th rounders don't usually hit, but there are some 6th rounders, 7th rounders, UDFAs, 5th rounders, 4th rounders who has exceeded expectations, who got that opportunity, ran with it, who was productive for a few games, 6 games, 8 games, 10 games, however long it was, and Kenyan Ingram could be that guy, especially if he works well with Kyler Murray, works well with the offense, does well in camp, and then something happens to Connor. Unfortunately, Ingram gets his opportunity, and that's where we could see things unfold. Another thing that could be in the cards is that he doesn't play well, falls on his face, has trouble transitioning, like all rookie running backs, like all rookies in general. That's in the cards, and the Cardinals have no sunk cost in his draft stock, so they can easily cut bait and move on from him. But if he plays well out of the gate, does well in camp, does well in the preseason, does well in his short spots in the NFL when he's getting a few touches here and there, and then something happens to Connor and he gets his opportunity, or he just starts playing well and they feel like they have to give him more opportunity, then we might have something here because he's a bigger running back. He's got some wiggle, got some speed, and catch the ball in the backfield, which is very intriguing. And this season, in 2022, this depth chart has opportunity for him to succeed. Opportunity for him to overcome those odds of being a late round draft pick and make his mark on this Cardinals offense. In Dynasty rookie drafts, ADP wise, on average, he's the 36th player off the board, making him like a fringe 3rd and 4th rounder. So wherever you want to take him at in the 3rd and 4th round, depending on what's on the board, depending on what you like, draft him up. Draft him up and get him. If there's other running backs you like better, get him. This is a spot of the draft where we're just drawing straws on the running backs, seeing which ones can hit for us in the short term. A lot of these guys has the odds stacked against them. Most of them are not going to do anything for us. They're just speculative assets, but we want to look at these speculative assets one by one and develop the story and see how this story could potentially develop in real terms and create value off of that. Can Kenyan Ingram get a starting role for a few games or half a season, part of a season, if something happens to James Conner? How many running backs is in his way? Not many after Conner. So there is a story here that we can tell ourselves that if this happens, this happens, this happens, Kenyan Ingram could get his opportunity. What do we got to pay for that? Next to nothing. We're not going to remember our 3rd and 4th round rookie picks 2-3 years from now. Look for those running backs that you like, that has something in their game, catch the ball in the backfield, some size-adjusted athleticism, whatever it is, production, something in their game that could indicate that they could be successful if they got a role, good tape, whatever you see from them. Then analyze their depth chart. Does this depth chart make sense? When I look at this depth chart, how many guys is in front of this running back? How many guys are seriously in the way? How many of these running backs are going to impact his ability to be the starter for this team for the short term, long term, or whatever? Maybe just a few games if the worst of the worst happens to this team. We just got to analyze that, figure that out, and then maybe apply a little bit more value to him in our rookie draft, get him in the 3rd round, 4th round, 5th round, UDFA after our rookie drafts. And that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at these running backs. How can they gel on their depth charts? Can they give us some short, quick return on our investment? We can either flip them from there, hold on to them, get a little bit of value, use them in a pinch, or just see what happens as flyers for our Dynasty fantasy football team. But let me know what you think about Kenyan Ingram. Are you buying him up? Are you drafting him? Is he one of your dudes? Or are you fading him? I know his draft capital is pretty late, 6th round. Indicators of him being a hit are not very good, so I could see that. But let me know. Drop it in the comments, smash that like button. Hitting that like button really helps out the video, helps out the channel, helps gets this video shared among that YouTube nation. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't already so you don't miss an episode. I'm going hard on the rookie draft content, hard on Dynasty fantasy football content, and then later on when we get in the season, we'll be harder in the in-season fantasy content. So you might want to stick around. But again, I want to thank you, and I'll catch you next time.